Alright, I'm going to call this my official labor and delivery vlog. I have been getting consistent contraction-like feelings every 15 to 20 minutes for about 8 hours now. It could be too soon to tell. We could be doing this for days, but what I'm feeling is a lot different than normal like Braxton Hicks contractions. Though I'm still able to breathe and move through and talk and do all the normal activities through them, I'm definitely feeling pains that have been consistent with contractions in the past. So what they do is they start off as feeling like period-like cramps, and then they kind of slowly work their way to the front. So they're lasting anywhere from 30 seconds to a minute. Sometimes they're stronger, sometimes they're hardly anything at all, but they are consistent. So we will see. I kind of started feeling them right before church started today. I've been feeling them all through church and just the day out, so we're a little bit dressed up today. But what we're gonna do is we do have plans tomorrow to do a little bit of an outing, get myself moving a little bit, do some shopping, so to try to get things moving along. I don't believe in any official like trying to induce other than a little bit of walking, so we figured it's probably a good fun little thing to do to just kind of let gravity do its thing. Plus it's nothing outside of what I would normally do in a day, so we're not technically trying to induce labor. We're just doing normal activities, trying to make a fun day out of it. But we're gonna see how I do overnight, if I keep having contractions or if they stop. But either way, I feel like this feeling I've had before and the first signs of labor, so I'm kind of gonna run with it. But again, at this point, anything is possible. We could be out for a few more days. We are officially due in about 3 days. So again, it could be nothing, but it could also be the start of labor and delivery. So I will keep everybody updated. It's about 1:30 a.m. on our official due date. And I've been feeling minor aches and pains the last few days. But as of tonight, started feeling some more cramp-like pains, and as of the last hour, I've had 4 or 5 of them. No bloody show, no water breakage. We're just getting everything ready to go in case we end up needing to go to the hospital. Time for my post due date baby monitoring. I am having contractions. It's been a minute since I have given an update on here. I am currently 40 weeks and 5 days pregnant, which means that I am 5 days overdue. I have been having contractions on and off for about 6 days now. Like they'll come, they'll last for a couple hours, and then they'll go away, or I'll have a random contraction here and there. At my last doctor's appointment, I was dilated to 1 centimeter, but she was still pretty high up. So they sent me over for monitoring. They told me she was fine. I was contracting the entire time I was being monitored, which was a good thing because it means she's tolerating contractions just fine. But at this point, I have tried to start a labor and delivery vlog a couple of times now, but we're just not there yet. And as much as I was hoping to have had a baby by now, you know what? God's got a timeline. God's got a plan, and I'm just not worried about it. The only thing I would be worried about is being pregnant to the point to where they insist on inducing me and giving me Pitocin, because I'm pretty sure they won't let me go past 42 weeks. And I mean, at this point, as long as baby's doing okay inside the womb, there has been no talk of going in for an induced labor. I have refrained from doing too much to actively induce labor, but I'm at a point now where I'm like kind of teetering that line of is it better to actively try to induce labor at home naturally, going for an induction? So I'm going to just try some techniques. Nothing major. I'm going to start slow. I've been pretty active. I've been walking around like normal, up and down, and I do notice that the more active I am, then my body will start to contract for a little while, and then it'll stop. But at this point, we're just kind of playing this game of, is this labor yet, or are we doing this again? But like I was saying, God's timing, not mine. Um, um, so I've got another doctor's appointment tomorrow. We'll see if I've made any progress in terms of dilating. But I mean, there's nothing I can do. There's nothing I want to do. I have been getting questions on when an induction date is or what's going to happen as far as me trying to self-induce, and my answer is I'm not going to do either of those things. I might go ahead and start a couple of small things like small exercises. I'll continue to drink some raspberry leaf tea. But other than that, my plan is to just let God work, and you know what? He's obviously got a timeline, and it's obviously not where I thought it would be, but that's okay. And I'm happy to just wait until he says it's time to go, and wait until baby girl's ready. Maybe she's not quite ready yet. You know, we've been talking about her being small this whole pregnancy. Maybe she needs a little bit more time to develop. At this point, even with my firstborn, I've gone farther this pregnancy than I ever have. I haven't been pregnant for this long yet, and they say your first takes the longest. Well, I was induced with my first, and I didn't like the experience. So, as of right now, I have officially been pregnant longer than I've ever been. But I will go ahead and keep everyone updated, and hopefully, Lord willing, we'll meet her sooner rather than later. Eventually, she will come out, and I'm just praying for a safe, healthy baby labor delivery. And you know, that's what I want more than anything. Is, you know, I'm not so worried about the timeline. I just want safe and healthy, and I can see where God's already been at work with allowing us to wait as long as He has. We were all fighting, well, the kids were all fighting a little bit of a sick bug a couple weeks ago, so I'm kind of glad that we've gotten over that. And but yeah, not my timing, but His. This may be labor delivery. This may not be. I had my 41-week checkup a few days ago, and I had an NST. They said that we were fine to continue with the pregnancy, but if we go another week, we are scheduling or taking steps to see what having an induced labor would be, depending on what my doctor finds that day with my cervix and everything, will determine what exactly those steps look like. So we're praying. We've been praying the last few days that we don't have to go that route, that we can just have the baby before the 42-week mark. However, at this point, I have been having contractions for 25 hours now. They started at 4:30 a.m. yesterday morning, and during the day, like, they were hit and miss, but I've been feeling overall like my body is just kind of like period cramps that just won't go away. And then every once in a while there will be a strong contraction. Sometimes some are stronger than others. However, I went to bed last night around 9:30, 10:30 maybe. Started having consistent contractions, and they pretty much kept me up all night. I got a few hours of sleep. Again, some are stronger than others, but just kind of hit and miss. Plus, my mind's just going. You know, it's hard to sleep when my mind is just going. So I think that has a lot to do with it as well. But there have been a couple that have woke me up in the middle of the night. So as of right now, we've been having labor contractions. I believe labor contractions again. Who knows at this point? I've been doing this for over a week now. We're 8 days overdue at this point. But they've kept me up all night long. I just took a warm shower to try to get me relaxed. Maybe I can rest a couple of hours before the day starts. I don't know if we're gonna try to do normal activities to try to get my body going and get labor going in the morning, or if we're just gonna try to rest and relax before it's time to go. I'm having no signs of my bloody show or my water breaking just yet. I do feel like it'll probably happen soon, but at this point I'm really uncomfortable, so we'll see. Part of me is going back and forth, like, do we stay home and try to labor, or do we try to get things going as much as possible by doing normal activities, but normal activities that are light, I don't want to overexert myself. So hopefully within the next couple days we'll have a little baby in our arms and we don't have to go through the process of having any form of an induced labor. It is currently 3 o'clock in the afternoon. My contractions haven't stopped at all, which is a good thing. Some are more painful than others, but overall we've been consistent. I got up, moved around, went to Bible study, went out, did a couple things just to try to keep things moving a little bit, but my back is killing me. It's not contraction pain at this point. I think it's just me being pregnant. But who knows what the next 24 hours look like, so I'm gonna call it a day early and just try to get some extra rest while I can, just so I'm not completely exhausted when it's time to actually go to the hospital. Contractions have stopped, no dilation, still being monitored for my NST, got test results coming up. Check our fluid levels, but we're talking about the possibility of just letting them start the process of inducing me, so we're not waiting it out and risking it until the 42-week mark to just err on the side of caution. We're a little bit concerned with waiting it out and then something happening. As of right now, everything's fine. We're all safe to continue the pregnancy, but we don't want to risk anything happening between now and next week. So we're just waiting around for doctors, my ultrasounds to check my fluid levels, and then we're just going to discuss what happens after that, whether or not we stay here at the hospital or go home and just do the things as scheduled, or we schedule for some time this weekend.